Welcome to the Blue Marble Defender series. This is story number 12, The Puma. Chapter 1, Killingworth. Look straight down. You're standing in front of the pocket where I sank my first ball on this table. It was a year before Pops was born in West Virginia. Whoa, said Rookie. Uncle Joe, that was ages ago. Did dinosaurs still roam the earth? Afterward, I bet you had to run for your life because a Tyrannosaurus was coming through the window, right? That's right, Rookie. And your grandfather, Pipsy, he pulled out his 7-iron from his golf bag and he tried to scare it away. That didn't work, so he jumped into his VW Beetle, fired it up, and the muffler fell off. Then the noise frightened the dinosaur away. Good thing none of us would be here if that muffler had stayed on. Hey, hold everything, Leo said. I thought we were here to play pool, not to tell tall tales. Yeah, you're right, Leo, Joe said. Pool's just like golf and like life. It's serious business. Just then Pops walked through the barn door. Okay, enough fun. Rookie, we've got work to do if we're going to beat this Killingworth gang. Leo, we need you too. You'll be the man in the middle. Rookie asked, what do you mean, Pops? You need to learn about a pickle. Huh? But lunch is over. A baseball pickle. You may have heard it called a rundown. You know, when a runner is caught off base and there's no force, so you have to tag him to get him out. Oh, yeah. I once saw the Red Sox do that on TV. Pop said, they're rare in Little League, but getting into the state championships is rare too. Better to learn about them before you have to face one. The Richfield Red Sox had made it to the Connecticut State Little League Championships, and in 2 days they would be playing the Killingworth Dodgers. Since Pop's Uncle Joe lived in Killingworth, the family was staying with him and his wife Denise. Joe's big yard was a great place to practice. Pops grabbed 2 white rags from the barn and threw them down 60 feet apart. Okay, pretend that one's first base and this one's second. Leo, you're the runner, and I'm the first baseman. Imagine you tag up at first after a fly ball is caught and head for second, but then you see you can't make it safe. You decide, okay, I'll head back to first. But the outfielder was quick and he threw it to me. You know I'd tag you out, so when you see I got the ball, you decide, all right, better to try for second. Now, Rookie, you're the second baseman, and yours and my job number 1 is to get Leo out. Since we have Leo trapped, it'd be lame if we let him return to safe at first, but it'd be even worse if we let him get to second. But it'd be even a worse disaster if he makes it to third because one of us makes a bad throw. So if we Sox catch a runner like Leo, one teammate should quickly back me up at first, another should back you up at second, but the third baseman should stay in position just in case one of us makes a throwing error. Here's how we tag the runner in a pickle. If I have the ball, I charge hard at the runner to force him to commit to running toward second. Then I toss you the ball and you tag him. If he stops before he reaches you, you charge him. When he commits to first, toss me the ball and I tag him. This is all easy to say, but believe me, it's hard to do. Let's try it. Pops rushed and tried to tag Leo, but he turned toward Rookie, threw his hands in the air and yelled, and Rookie missed the throw from Pops. Ah, how nice to be on sunny second base, Leo gloated. Even without Leo's theatrics, Pop said, the first try wouldn't have been easy. Throwing and catching are difficult when you're managing a pickle. If Leo's running towards you, he's in the base path, and I might throw wide to avoid hitting him. If you have to catch and tag him, his body might block your view of the ball, or he might rattle you by his charging. They practiced until Rookie said, okay, I think I got it now. Let's practice with the whole infield tomorrow. Pops threw Rookie high fly balls and grounders for a few more minutes. Joe showed Leo how to ride his tractor lawnmower, and Denise gave them an early dinner, and they went to bed early. Chapter 2, Preparing for the Big Day. Mom drove the bus into the parking lot at the ball fields in Madison, Connecticut, where the big game was to be played. She was first off and waved to Rookie and Leo as they walked over to welcome their teammates. Pops showed the team the visitors' clubhouse facilities, and they carried their gear to the field. It had a professional appearance, with covered dugouts, an electronic scoreboard, bleachers on both sides, and an announcer's booth on top of one of them. Pops called for the team to sit together on the bleachers. He welcomed again and asked, "Hey, you feeling jumpy? Nervous?" Well, today has many purposes, but one is to make you familiar with the field and get some of that tension and uncertainty out of your system. The Dodgers have played on this field before, but it's not their home field, so it's not much of an advantage for them. Now let me start by telling you what I've learned about our opponents. Then we'll check out the field itself, and we'll do some practice. The Dodgers look like a first-class team to me, a lot like ourselves. Good fielding, good hitting, not giant sluggers, but everyone on the roster can hit. They're disciplined, they hustle, and they got guts. So far, just like you. Now the Red Sox and Dodgers, hey, they're evenly matched on paper, so what'll determine the winner? Bobby blurted out, "Luck!" and got lots of laughs. Pops replied, "You're right, Bobby, and the next question is how can we gain the luck we need?" Nobody said a word. So Pops continued, "We do what brought us here. We play as a team. We do our best as individuals. If we make a mistake, we pick ourselves up and get moving. We support each other. We keep cool in all situations and use our heads, whether we're fielders, batters, base runners, or base coaches. In short, we simply do what we've done all season. We don't let anything rattle us or take our eyes off the ball, so to speak," he said with a big smile. Pops asked if anyone had any questions, and when none came, he said, "I'm glad you traveled in your uniforms and have your spikes on. Let's start with running 3 times fast around the infield, then trot around the foul lines and outfield, ending up in the bench right here. Carry your gloves. Now Leo's standing in as assistant coach again, so you just follow him." When the team returned to the bench, Pops asked, "Did you notice anything different between this field and our field in Ridgefield?" Max said, "I got my feet wet a couple of spots out there near the outfield foul lines." "Hey, that's a good observation, Mac," Pop said. "What might that mean for us?" "Well, I imagine a ball would slow down a lot, whether it bounced there or rolled through it." Pop said, Good lesson, outfielders?" And half the team nodded. "Anyone else notice anything?" Robert said, "Yes, I noticed the infield grass is longer than at home, and the sod is a heck of a lot softer." "Now, since you'll be playing third this game, what's that mean for you, Robert?" "Well, I won't expect any grass cutters to travel quite as fast as they do in Ridgefield. And maybe I should position myself a step closer to the plate. I think it's probably best if I wait and see how everything works out in practice before I decide that." "Good thinking, Robert," Pop said. "Anyone else notice anything different?" Rookie said, "I noticed marks where puddles must have formed yesterday on both baselines not far from the plate." Gene jumped in. "Woo! If the infield slopes just a tiny bit there, that'd help us keep our bunts in fair territory." "Whoa," Pop said. "I'm hearing some synergy, some teamwork. We'll have to think about that some more." "Any other things anybody noticed?" When nothing was offered, Pop said, "You pitchers haven't been out to the mound yet, but I suspect it's just a hair higher than ours at home. We'll take a double batting practice today to make sure everybody's comfortable with it, and you pitchers, we'll have you throw the second round of batting practice to give you some experience up there." Leo took the outfielders and hit flies, while Pops hit grounders to the infield, and they all went on to their first batting practice. When that was over, Mom brought out a big bag of sandwiches and drinks, and everybody chowed down and chatted on the bleachers for about 15 minutes. The team went into their second batting practice, which Pops had designed as a game situation. Fielders filled each position, and each batter ran out his or her hit. When Pops judged the team was ready but still fresh, he called them back to the bleachers. "Okay, guys, we'll quit for the day and head to the motel down the road. I believe you've already picked your roommates. Does anyone have any questions or comments?" Laura asked, "Can you tell us tomorrow's lineup yet?" "Yes, the fielders will start in the same position, except Robert. He's standing in for Billy since he had to miss the game. Bobby will be starting pitcher, but I expect to rotate in more pitchers. I might make changes in the batting order, too. We'll see. I'll let you know when I've made out the card." Chapter 2. Preparing for the big day. Mom drove the bus into the parking lot at the ball fields in Madison, Connecticut, where the big game was to be played. She was first off and waved to Rookie and Leo as they walked over to welcome their teammates. Pops showed the team the visitors' clubhouse facilities, and they carried their gear to the field. It had a professional appearance, with covered dugouts, an electronic scoreboard, bleachers on both sides, and an announcer's booth on top of one of them. Pops called for the team to sit together on the bleachers. He welcomed them again and asked, "Hey, you feeling jumpy? Nervous?" "Well, today has many purposes, but one is to make you familiar with the field and get some of that tension and uncertainty out of your system. The Dodgers have played on this field before, but it's not their home field, so it's not much of an advantage for them. Now let me start by telling you what I've learned about our opponents. Then we'll check out the field itself, and we'll do some practice." The Dodgers look like a first-class team to me, a lot like ourselves. Good fielding, good hitting, not giant sluggers, but everyone on the roster can hit. They're disciplined, they hustle, and they got guts. So far, just like you. Now the Red Sox and Dodgers, hey, they're evenly matched on paper, so what'll determine the winner? Bobby blurted out, "Luck!" and got lots of laughs. Pops replied, "You're right, Bobby, and the next question is how can we gain the luck we need?" Nobody said a word. So Pops continued, "We do what brought us here. We play as a team. We do our best as individuals. If we make a mistake, we pick ourselves up and get moving. We support each other. We keep cool in all situations and use our heads, whether we're fielders, batters, base runners, or base coaches. In short, we simply do what we've done all season. We don't let anything rattle us or take our eyes off the ball, so to speak," he said with a big smile. Pops asked if anyone had any questions, and when none came, he said, "I'm glad you traveled in your uniforms and have your spikes on. Let's start with running 3 times fast around the infield, then trot around the foul lines and outfield, ending up in the bench right here. Carry your gloves. Now Leo's standing in as assistant coach again, so you just follow him." When the team returned to the bench, Pops asked, "Did you notice anything different between this field and our field in Ridgefield?" Max said, "I got my feet wet a couple of spots out there near the outfield foul lines." "Hey, that's a good observation, Mac," Pop said. "What might that mean for us?" "Well, I imagine a ball would slow down a lot, whether it bounced there or rolled through it." Pop said, Good lesson, outfielders?" And half the team nodded. "Anyone else notice anything?" Robert said, "Yes, I noticed the infield grass is longer than at home, and the sod is a heck of a lot softer." "Now, since you'll be playing third this game, what's that mean for you, Robert?" "Well, I won't expect any grass cutters to travel quite as fast as they do in Ridgefield, and maybe I should position myself a step closer to the plate. I think it's probably best if I wait and see how everything works out in practice before I decide that." "Good thinking, Robert," Pop said. "Anyone else notice anything different?" Rookie said, "I noticed marks where puddles must have formed yesterday on both baselines not far from the plate." Gene jumped in. "Woo! If the infield slopes just a tiny bit there, that'd help us keep our bunts in fair territory." "Whoa," Pop said. "I'm hearing some synergy, some teamwork. We'll have to think about that some more." Any other things anybody noticed? When nothing was offered, Pop said, "You pitchers haven't been out to the mound yet, but I suspect it's just a hair higher than ours at home. We'll take a double batting practice today to make sure everybody's comfortable with it, and you pitchers will have you throw the second round of batting practice to give you some experience up there." Leo took the outfielders and hit flies, while Pops hit grounders to the infield, and they all went on to their first batting practice. When that was over, Mom brought out a big bag of sandwiches and drinks, and everybody chowed down and chatted on the bleachers for about 15 minutes. The team went into their second batting practice, which Pops had designed as a game situation. Fielders filled each position, and each batter ran out his or her hit. When Pops judged the team was ready but still fresh, he called them back to the bleachers. "Okay, guys, we'll quit for the day and head to the motel down the road. I believe you've already picked your roommates. Does anyone have any questions or comments?" Laura asked, "Can you tell us tomorrow's lineup yet?" "Yes, the fielders will start in the same position, except Robert. He's standing in for Billy since he had to miss the game. Bobby will be starting pitcher, but I expect to rotate in more pitchers. I might make changes in the batting order, too. We'll see. I'll let you know when I've made out the card."
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Station WZMR, broadcasting from beautiful downtown Madison, Connecticut. This is your favorite sports announcer, Helen Larkspur, coming to you from our booth above the grandstand where Madison is hosting this year's State Little League Championship. We're under gray skies and watching for signs of rain, but don't worry, those clouds aren't dampening anybody's spirits. Our sponsor, Space Spuds Potato Chips, has given each team 24 bags of chips, and there's a big carton in front of both bleachers with enough for everyone. Folks, Space Spuds Potato Chips are the oldest, tastiest chips in the universe. Their crunch is like the crack of a baseball bat. People are streaming in to watch the Ridgefield Red Sox face the Killingworth Dodgers. The Red Sox won the toss and chose to be the home team. The umpire has called, "Play ball, batter up," and Bobby is already in position on the mound for the Red Sox. He starts his wind-up, here comes the first pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. The batter watched that ball come straight down the pipe. He probably held off swinging so he could size up a pitcher he never faced before. I bet he hopes his next pitch is a sweet one like the one he let go by. The wind-up, the pitch, a swing and a foul tip that Mac the catcher digs from the dirt. The batter wanted that one so much he swung at what would have been a ball, low and outside. The count is now 0-2, and here comes the pitch. A big swing and a pop-up to the left side of the infield. The third baseman, Robert, has called it. He's drifting back a bit, and he puts it away. The ball is making its way around the infield now as the next batter settles in. Bobby's ready now. The wind-up, the pitch, and a slow ground ball to Laura at shortstop. She was playing a step or two closer than usual. She fields it easily and throws it to Jean at first for the out. 2 outs now, and the Dodgers center fielder comes to the plate. He has their highest batting average at .410 and hit 2 home runs this year. Bobby watches intently with his foot on the rubber as the batter settles in. He starts his wind-up, and here comes the pitch. A sharp grounder toward the gap between the first base and the second baseman. The first baseman moves quickly to her right and snags it in the web of her big mitt and tosses it to Bobby, who ran to cover first. So it's 3 up and 3 down in the first half of the first inning. The Red Sox are coming from the field to bat, and the Dodgers are heading out to warm up. Eli is the starting pitcher for the Dodgers. He's taking a tour of the mound now that he's warmed up. It looks like he may be settling his nerves, and no doubt he'd like to make it through the first inning as easily as Bobby did. The first batter, Rookie, is walking up to the plate. He's planted his feet, tapped the plate, and pulled his bat back. It's the wind-up and the pitch. Oh, goodness! A beanball! Eli's first pitch hit Rookie's helmet and bounded to the backstop. The batter is down on the ground. The coach is coming out. But he holds up and looks like the batter is okay, folks. He's dusted himself off and is jogging down the line to first base. Well, that sure isn't the way Eli wanted to start the game, and no doubt the same for Rookie. But nerves make strange things happen at the start of a championship game, and fortunately there was no injury. Gene, the first baseman, is up now. The windup, the pitch, and it's a called strike one. Gene steps back from the box, rubs some dust off the bat's barrel, and looks thoughtfully at it and steps back into the box. Now the windup, the pitch, and it's a fly ball to left field. The fielder moves a couple of steps toward the line, settles under it, and makes the catch. She throws the ball to the infield, and we now have one on and one out here at the bottom of the first. Mac, the catcher, is the third batter. He's moving fast and looks determined. Eli watches him and looks equally determined. Here's the windup, the pitch, and it's a sharp ground ball to the second baseman. He scoops it up, tosses it to the shortstop at second, and she throws over to first. Smooth as silk, we have a double play, and that's the end of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. It's a pitcher's ball game so far, folks. While the team changes sides, I'd like to bring you a word from our sponsor. Did you ever have the urge for a little salty snack, like when you're listening to baseball, for example? Well, make sure you have an extra bag of Space Spuds potato chips in your pantry. Enjoy them with your favorite carbonated beverage or fruit juice, and if you like chips and dips, remember to buy a jar of Space Spuds Orbital Onion Dip. Okay, the teams are ready for the top of the second inning. Bobby's on the mound, and here's the windup in the pitch to the Dodgers' cleanup batter. Whoa! Now there's the Dodgers' first hit out of the infield. It's a high fly ball to center field. The fielder is running back, looking over his shoulder. Back, and he catches it over his left shoulder. A beautiful catch, a catch to be proud of. That saved what could have been an extra base hit, a double or a triple. I bet Bobby's happy with his center fielder, and I see him taking a deep breath. Okay, next batter's up, a ground ball to the first baseman. She picks it up on the second bounce and hops 2 steps back to the bag for the out. Slick little play by Gene. Folks, we have 2 good hitting teams in front of us and not a hit between them yet. We might just be seeing the early stages of a pitcher's duel, but we'll see. Okay, here comes the next batter. Bobby delivers and it's a foul pop-up. Max throws off his mask. He can't find it. Oh, now he has size on it and it falls into his mitt. Yep, another good fielding play. We're going down into the bottom of the second inning now, and as the sides are changing, I'm looking up at those dark clouds that have worried us all morning. Let's hope the rain holds off until this afternoon.
Chapter 4, Rain Delay. The Red Sox went down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. Same for the Dodgers in the top of the third. Light rain started in the bottom of the third when the first Sox batter struck out, and the second grounded to the pitcher. A wet bat slipped out of the third batter's hand and slid over the wet ground past third base. On the next pitch, he popped up to the first baseman, and the umpire immediately announced a rain delay. The Madison groundskeeper asked for help pulling a tarp over the infield. The 2 teams huddled in their dugouts, and the fans either sat under umbrellas or retreated to their cars. Ricky took advantage of the game delay to ask Leo if he'd received any word from Mom. He hadn't. Well, they chatted, and Pops came over to them because Ricky looked worried. We'd all like to hear from her, but she's probably just busy, he said. I know you've waited for word from both of us many times, and I expect this time's no different from their others. We're just busy. She's just busy. And Joe is with her, and he would have told us if there was anything we should know. Now, Ricky, do your best to separate your concern about Mom from the task at hand here. You'll kick yourself later if you get distracted and don't play as well as you could. The rain intensified for 10 minutes, and the team passed the time munching potato chips. It lightened into a drizzle and then stopped as a cool breeze blew in. Pops had been in conference with Leo most of that time, and when the umpire announced the game would restart, he told Lauer to warm up and replace Bobby on the mound. The game was about to enter its 4th inning. Coming up next, Chapter 5, Fighting for Runs.
Welcome back, sports fans. The championship game will be restarting soon. Some of you may not know this, but if the game had been called just now instead of being delayed, and if one team had been ahead, they would have been declared the winners. A league needs rules like that, but certainly would have been disappointing to end the season if either the Dodgers or the Red Sox lost that way. But fortunately, we're back in business. Laura is in to pitch for the Sox, and Bobby's taking her place at shortstop. This is the first season Laura has pitched, and she was 1-1 for the regular season. She's warmed up and ready to go, and the umpire has just called out, "Play ball." The first batter is digging in at the wet batter's box, and Laura is scratching away some mud up on the pitcher's mound. If the groundskeeper hadn't covered the infield with a tarp, those two would probably be up to their ankles in mud. Laura's ready now. The windup, the pitch, and it's a pop-up. It's not just any old pop-up, folks. It's towering. Maybe the highest I've ever seen in Little League. It's on the right side of the infield. The second baseman, Rookie, has put his hand up and called it. He's backing up now. Uh-oh. He stumbled where the outfield grass meets the infield dirt, but he kept his eye on the ball. It seems like that ball has already been up there forever. 2 steps to his left, and he's got it. A two-handed catch, with one covering the ball just the way the coaches recommend it. Wow, that was a pop-up for the ages, folks. I know how tricky and even frightening such a ball can be, especially when gray skies makes it hard to follow and judge its speed. That's why practice is important. Good players make such plays look easy, but they're not. A high one like that can be really tricky. Okay, the ball's making its way around the infield, and the next batter is approaching the plate.
The Sox got the 2 Dodger batters out to end the top of the 4th, and then they went down 1-2-3 themselves in the bottom half of the inning. Laura gave up 2 walks in the top of the 5th, but nobody scored. As the Red Sox prepared to bat in the bottom of the 5th, Pops brought them together and waved the rest of the team to join. Okay, guys, in the late innings of a close game like this, if you feel tense, that's normal. But it's important to not be distracted. Don't dream, don't worry. Just go up to the plate and do your best. Got it? Great. Go Sox! The Red Sox did draw a walk, and one batter got on with an infield error, but the 5th inning also ended with no score. Coming up, we have Chapter 6 titled Inches and Number 7 titled Seconds.
Here we are at the top of the 6th inning, folks, and all I can see on that big scoreboard past third base are goose eggs. 5 innings and no score. It's surprising since we have 2 classy teams out in the field, but that's baseball for you. Oh, I see the Sox are bringing in a new pitcher. He was playing second base earlier. His name is Rookie, and he's their 3rd pitcher this game. While the Sox are doing their warm-ups, let me remind you that this is the last inning, and if there's no score, we go into extra innings. Okay, the batter's ready, and here comes the pitch. It's a swing and a miss. The batter went after a low outside fastball. I imagine she's anxious to break this game open, and I imagine Rookie's equally anxious to shut down the side. You can feel the tension in the Sox infield chattering from the Dodgers bench. Rookie has his foot on the rubber, starting his windup, and here comes the pitch. It's a ground ball to second base. Laura picks it up clean and throws to first, and it's 1 away. You might have noticed how versatile the Red Sox infield is. Laura started the game at shortstop, then she pitched. Now she's swapped with Rookie and playing second base. So it's 1 away, and the next batter is at the plate. The windup, the pitch, and it's outside for ball 1. Mac tosses the ball back to Rookie as the level of chatter from both teams amps up. The windup, the pitch, and it's a little blooper toward first base. Jean dives for it, but is just barely out of reach. Laura arrived an instant later, picked it up, and held the batter to a single. Baseball's a game of inches, folks. The batter gets a single, but that ball was played as well as it possibly could have been. Now it's 1 out and 1 on in the top of the 6th. Rookie's ready, the windup and the pitch, and it's a slow-moving grounder to the left side, just out of the pitcher's reach. The shortstop charges, grabs it barehanded, sees there's no play at second, sidearms a throw to first, but it's too late. The runner's safe. The Dodgers bench is on its feet, hooting and howling. Their excitement is filling the air, and the infielders are looking forlorn. But once again, that ball was played as well as it could have been played, and the Sox have nothing to be ashamed of. The ball is back to the pitcher now, and Rookie is holding it in his glove as he makes a small tour at the back of the mound. It's 2 on and 1 out. The Dodgers have a man in scoring position, and no doubt they'll be looking for a hit into the outfield to drive in the run. The pitcher is twisting the ball inside his glove as he watches the next batter set his stance. The windup, the pitch, ball 1 outside. The catcher tosses the ball back. The pitcher glances at the lead runner on second and quickly moves to the rubber. The windup, the pitch, and it's ball 2, high and inside. Lots of chatter from both sides, but the volume's down for the moment. The windup, the pitch, and it's ball 3. The Dodgers bench has exploded. They're on their feet, cheering on their hitter. Rookie has the ball and takes a deep breath. The windup, the pitch, outside, ball 4. The Dodgers bench explodes with cheers as they load the bases. Listen to that noise. The Red Sox are keeping a stiff upper lip and keeping up their own chatter, but that walk on 4 pitches must have come as a surprise, a bad surprise. Now at the top of the 6th, with 1 out and the bases loaded, they have their work cut out for them to prevent a score. The hooting from the Dodger bench goes on and on. The infielders have all taken 2 steps in, positioning themselves for the force at home in case of a ground ball. The runners look primed to take off as the next batter comes in from the on-deck circle. He taps the plate. He readies the bat, the windup, the pitch, and it's a swinging strike 1. And what a swing! He was swinging for the fences. The Dodger bench is still alive with energy, but the sound level is down a bit. The Red Sox infield has amped up support for their pitcher, and the tension is building. Here's the windup in the pitch. It's outside for ball 1. Folks, that call of ball 1 seemed to bring a cloud over the infielders' faces. It's got to be the memory of the last batter's walk and thoughts of walking in a run. The team's giving their support, but you can't blame them for the worry underneath. Okay, it's the top of the 6th and a no-run game. The bases are loaded. There's 1 out, and the count is 1-1. The pitcher's foot is on the rubber, the windup, the pitch, a cannon shot, a laser line drive at the third baseman's chest. What a shot for a fielder playing 2 steps in. He got his glove up, but the ball popped out. The runner had stayed close to the base, but having seen the ball drop, she's dashing for the home plate. The third baseman throws to the catcher. He touches the plate and throws back to third. It's a double play. Unbelievable, just unbelievable. The inning's over. Who could have seen that coming? The bases were loaded with only 1 out a moment ago. They might easily have scored a couple of runs, but now the inning's over. What a game! Baseball doesn't get any more dramatic than that, listeners. It just doesn't. The Dodger bench has gone silent now. I'd say it's a stunned silence. I think the Red Sox are stunned too, but they're happy. None can be as happy as the third baseman, Robert. What a play! Executed to perfection after what must have been the fright of his life. And the pitcher, Rookie, he's walking in with a big smile on his face, and as luck would have it, he'll be the first batter at the bottom of the 6th. Folks, we've been treated to some exciting baseball, but this game's far from over. It's the bottom of the 6th, and if the Red Sox don't bring in a run, we go to extra innings. The field has gone silent, but I suspect it won't last long. The pitcher, Rookie, is swinging a bat and getting ready to come to the plate while the Dodger pitcher is warming up. Okay, they're ready to start. Rookie twists his spikes into the dirt and taps the plate while the pitcher stares intently. It's the windup and the pitch. Ball 1 inside. The infield chatter is picking up, and all eyes from the Red Sox bench are focused on the batter. The pitcher's working fast. It's the windup and the pitch, and a line drive past the pitcher's left shoulder. It hits the outfield grass behind second base. The center fielder charges, scoops it up, takes a couple of steps, and tosses it to the shortstop who's covering second base. No doubt the Red Sox are hoping that hit breaks the ice and releases the hitting floodgates. Sorry for those metaphors, folks, but I'm still charged up myself. Okay, here comes the next batter, Gene, the first baseman. The pitcher is glowering over at first. Now he turns and puts his foot on the rubber as Gene digs in at the plate. The windup, the pitch, and it's a swinging strike one. Gene really went after that one, folks, and if she'd connected it would have sounded like a crunch of a Space Spuds potato chip. Sorry for the little product promotion there, but I realized I was supposed to give a commercial break in the 5th inning. Okay, listeners, the pitcher's still working fast. Here comes the windup and the pitch, and it's called strike 2. Jean seemed surprised at the call. Perhaps she thought the pitch was too low, but of course it's only the umpire's thinking that counts. She takes a step out of the batter's box, taps her spikes with her bat, glances over at the Sox bench and comes back in, ready. The pitcher's ready too. The windup, the pitch, and Jean squares around to bunt. She's bunting with 2 strikes. Holy cow! If she fouls it, she's out. What a daring move! The pitch comes in and her bunt goes down the first baseline. It might go foul. No, it's in the base path's dirt and just inside the line. The catcher's chasing it. He's got it. He glances towards second but decides to go to first. But the batter's running down the base path, blocking his view. He rifles a throw. It's wide. The first baseman stretches but can't reach it, and it bounds into foul territory. That throw had power because I can see the ball spinning off water drops on its way to a small puddle. The first baseman's chasing it. The runner from first is nearing second base, and his eyes are on the third base coach. The first baseman reaches the ball and sees the runner digging for third. That runner's a cat, a Puma, canny and fast. He's almost to third. The throw's wide, and the third baseman can't reach it. The left fielder sprints after it. Whoa! The cat didn't hesitate. He's headed for home plate. Ow! He's more than halfway there, but the ball's going to beat him. The on-deck batter waves him back, and the runner stops like he has disc brakes. What? He's not moving? The catcher holds the ball, starts prancing toward the runner, and he breaks back to third. The catcher throws. It passes the runner's shoulder, but bounces off the third baseman's glove and runs away from him. The shortstop's backing him up and sprints after the ball. The runner's heading for home. The shortstop picks it up. He throws. He looped it over the runner's head, too short. The catcher can't reach it. It hits the runner's back as he takes a face first dive. His fingers touch the plate. He touched the plate. Oh my, what a play, what a run. It's over, folks. Holy smokes, the game's over. And Connecticut has a new Little League state champion, the Ridgefield Red Sox. The fans in the Sox bleachers are whooping it up, and the younger ones are stomping and making a huge racket. Can you hear it through my microphone? Gloves are flying up and down in the air, and everyone from the Sox bench rushing toward home plate, jumping, cheering. This is unbelievable. The championship was won on a bunt that scored a runner from first base. Well, I suppose that's like real life, folks. Sometimes the crazy and the unexpected wins the day. It's all luck, or is it? This was a one-run game, but what a game! It took the excitement we usually have over 6 innings and packed it into about 6 deep breaths. Whoops, I'm being interrupted. One moment, please. Well, I'm honored to have been asked to join the panel deciding on the game's MVP, its most valuable player. Please bear with me. I'll put on some recorded music and be back as soon as possible. I'm back, folks. Helen Larkspur here, and I know the MVP decision, but the mayor of Madison is about to tell everyone, so I won't let his secret out. We can't plug into his microphone, so I'll speak his words as he makes the announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, visitors, dignitaries, thank you for coming to Madison today for the state championships. This game ended with a lot of excitement, and now that we've had a chance to catch our collective breath, it's my pleasure to give out the game's MVP award, its Most Valuable Player award. In my experience, it's a rare, rare day when a single person makes all the difference between a team's winning and losing. And today, this day, choosing a single person was especially difficult. We had to consider, should we give the MVP to Robert, whose courage and ball handling avoided a big scar that would have lost the game for the Red Sox? Or should we give the MVP to Gene, whose courageous and deft bunt set up the opportunity for a score? Or should we give it to Rookie, whose cat-like running and courageous dash for the plate brought the victory home? We had trouble deciding. After a lot of soul-searching, we decided to give the MVP award to all three and the whole Red Sox team. They proved themselves to be Connecticut's ultimate competitors today, folks. Please join me in congratulating them. Robert, Gene, Rookie, please come on up to accept the Red Sox award. Well, folks, there are a couple more speeches coming to mark this occasion, but time is up for our broadcast. Thank you for joining me here at the state championships. This is your favorite WZMR sports announcer, Helen Larkspur, signing off for the season. Tune in next year for more baseball excitement. And please remember, today's game was brought to you by Space Spuds Potato Chips, the oldest, tastiest chips in the universe. Their crunch is like the crack of a baseball bat.
Chapter 8. Let them eat cake. Rookie enjoyed the adulation. How could he not? But he remained worried about Mom. Leo told him, "Dude, she's all right. I know it's a shame she couldn't be here, but how many times have she and Dad gone missing when they had work to do? Imagine this. Her work is just like being in the batter's box. If she doesn't concentrate, she'll miss the pitch. She's just out somewhere doing her job. She can't call without losing her concentration, and it won't be long till we hear from her." Jean's parents had driven in for the game this morning, and her father offered to drive the team home in the van. Pops was on the road to Joe's house when Leo's phone rang. "Woohoo! That's Mom's calling." He took the call on speakerphone, and Mom said all was well, but she couldn't talk. She said she'd heard about the game, gave her congratulations, and said she'd meet them at Joe's house. Then she rang off. When they arrived, Denise welcomed them and set them in the yard with tall glasses of water and snacks. She said she had all the lobsters, steamed clams, and corn on the cob they could eat for dinner, and she'd made a chocolate cake, too. Leo said, "Woohoo! Woo! Is there any chance you could maybe make a few slices of that available while we wait for the others to arrive?" Denise gave a big smile and returned with milk and cake. After polishing off the cake and loafing all they could stand, Leo offered to show them how Joe's tractor lawnmower worked. But they'd barely stood when Joe's car pulled up, and Mom burst out the door. "Congrats, you guys! Well done! How's it feel to be state champs?" They all sat down, and Pops asked Mom and Joe, "What can you tell us about your adventure today? The idea of dealing with a nuclear-powered submarine sounds scary enough, but especially one heading on a national security mission. That's got to mean they're carrying nuclear-tipped missiles." "I'll let Joe fill you in," Mom said. He was the hero of the day. "No," Joe said. "We did not encounter any dangerous situation, so hero is certainly a highfalutin word. The Navy's dilemma was that schools of bluefish had surrounded their submarine. Thousands of fish. Now look, a submarine has all the power it needs to get through any school of fish, so power wasn't the problem. The Navy was concerned that an enemy, or maybe an extraterrestrial, was inciting the fish to circle the sub just to disguise a sabotage operation. The sub was off Saybrook, where the Connecticut River empties into Long Island Sound. That's my old stomping ground, and I've fished there for years. Some of the Navy brass had read your report, the one you just wrote about Sing Sing Prison. It made them suspect a shapeshifter extraterrestrial might have been behind it all. And they were hoping you Blue Marble defenders could disperse the fish and locate the shapeshifter for them. All right, now, with all due respect to you defenders, the idea of a shape-shifting ET behind this sounded like a lot of hooey to me, and I told them so. They gave me 3 hours to figure it out, and I simply sailed my fishing boat down from Essex, which is just up the river from where the sub was. When the sub was directly underneath me, I threw my fishing line into the water. Like a shot! Those thousands of bluefish swam away and dispersed out into the Atlantic Ocean. All that was left was one single dolphin having its fun circling the sub. That was that. Case closed, thanks to just a few minutes of fishing. Pops raised his glass to Joe and said, "Well done! You're a practical man of many talents. What do you say, Joe? Would you agree to be an on-call guy? An on-call to the Blue Marble Defenders?" Joe slapped his hand over his heart and said, "You can count on me." At that instant, his phone rang. He took it out, listened, and answered, "Yes, sir." "Glad to. Yes, sir. I'll be there, sir." He turned it off and looked at the others. "What was that?" Leo asked. "That was the commander of the New London submarine base. His scientists analyzed my fishing pole, my line, and my bait, but they have no idea how I was able to scare away those thousands of fish. I agreed to go to the Navy Yard next week and show them. Maybe I'll invite your grandfather, Pipsy, to come too. He also has the special skill." Mom said, "So each of us had an exciting day. Now, Rookie, when Joe and I were driving, we heard the last part of your game on the car radio. Tell us, what were you thinking when you were in that pickle between third and home plate?" "Well, I thought about some of the things Leo had done when Pops and I were doing pickle practice over there on Joe's lawn. I tried to give the Dodgers the same problem he gave us." "Ha," Mom said. "So your brother was your secret weapon. Hey, I bet you didn't hear the radio announcer say that you were an outstanding runner. She said you were canny and ran like a Puma." "Gee," Rookie said, "I like that cool image. But really, I just did things we practice as a team. You know, it probably would have been smarter to stay at third base. I overdid it, but I was lucky." Leo pointed, sat up straight, and extended claws toward Rookie and growled, "Sssss, you speak truth, cat boy." And that's the end of the Puma.